name is Cal, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to play When My Train Pulls In by Gary Clark Jr. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a great artist, great musician, sort of under the radar, although not really sort of getting more popular, but definitely check him out either way. This song is probably one of his most famous songs, When My Train Pulls In. It's a great riff, uses a lot of distortion, sounds really good, standalone, which is always fun. And it's really simple. So, without further ado, let's get into the song. Okay, so the song starts off with an open A, and then hammer on with your first finger onto the 2nd fret. And hammer-ons are something that we're going to be using a lot of, so make sure you have those pretty down before you attempt to learn the song. So after that hammer-on, we go to an open D, and then another hammer-on, A string, and then with your 2nd finger go to the 3rd fret low E string. So far. Then we have an open D, hammer on with your 1st finger onto the 2nd fret, and then an open E, and then back to the D on the 2nd fret. So real slowly, this is what we have so far. And of course speed that up and add distortion. That's one of the big things. I took it off for the sake of the lesson, but in the intro you heard me playing it, and it sounds awesome with a lot of distortion. So definitely crank the gain up. You know what, I'll put a picture of the settings on my amp on screen right now so you guys can see what I'm playing and how I get it to sound crunchy like that. So the next part after that intro, he plays that throughout most of the song, so definitely get that down. There's only a couple times, a couple instances when he deviates to chord progressions, and it's just a 1-4-5 progression. But there's one section in the second verse, I believe. The first verse he plays the intro riff that I just taught you, but the second verse he does this sort of muted power chord, just like that, and that is just a power chord on the 7th fret A string. And palm muted, which means when you hit the strings, let your palm of your hand come down on the strings as you hit them. So it gives it that muted sound. It's sort of difficult if you're just starting out learning, but if you try it for, you give it some practice, I'm sure you'll be able to get it. And again, the timing for all this, you could just have to listen to the song, because there's only a couple times when he changes to chords, so I'm not going to count out each measure for you, but you'll be able to hear the changes that he makes. So there's that one chord, but before he does that, he does this. And that is just a power chord on the 5th fret low E string, but he hits these strings open, these the G, the D, the B, and the E, and you sort of pick through them. And then go back into the riff. Now, one thing that I will note is when you go back into the intro riff after coming from a chord progression or chords, you don't go straight back into the riff. You first do this, which is just the ending of the riff. Remember the hammer on the D, open E, and then back to the D, and then you start the riff from the beginning. So instead of starting it from the beginning initially, you go through the ending first. Sorry about that last part, but that is pretty much it for that. Now, when you change from the riff, the intro riff, into the chords, you don't change after the riff is completed. You actually change halfway through on the 3rd fret low E string. So, and then go into the chords as opposed to finishing out the riff. So that is the majority of the song, are just those chords, and then the Now the other part is the solo, which Gary Clark Jr. is really incredible at that. He does like a 5-minute solo or something crazy. You can use the E minor pentatonic scale. If you know what that is, great. If you don't, sort of out of luck. The notes that he plays changes all the time from his live performances and stuff. The studio version is pretty crazy. So I won't be teaching you the solo today, but if you want to try and figure out the notes for yourself, which I always encourage because you actually learn way more doing that than you would if you just looked up tablature for it. Again, E minor pentatonic scale should get you started. But other than that, guys, that is how to play When My Train Pulls In by Gary Clark Jr. Awesome song. If you guys haven't heard of him, go check him out because he's a really incredible artist. And I really enjoy his music. I hope you do too. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys later.